and we back, 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 and we and we back, and we back.
All right, so we're back live with our second segment today. We're looking at some of the greatest players of right now, basketball players right now, and we wanted this. I just want to say, NBA players, the greats, all this here, and all they do. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Who would you build your team around right now? Would it be Steph Curry, Giannis, or James Harden? Like, these are some questions I want to know. We're gonna take out KD, we're gonna take out LeBron, and we're just gonna pick and take out Kawhi. We're just gonna pick Steph Curry, Giannis, or James Harden. So if you guys were a GM and you're going in like, hey, I gotta get my centerpiece for my team, who are you gonna start with? Dan, we're gonna start with you.
Oh, honestly, this is a tough one because I'm a Giannis guy. I like Giannis. Harden is cool, but I gotta go with Steph. And here's the reason why. Steph is everything you want in a point guard. He can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot. He can play off the ball, even if you need him to. He can turn. He is that one of those players that can easily turn it on and then turn it off like that. Like if you need, like, let's say you wanted to put Curry in as like a shooting guard. I'm not saying that he would do better as a shooting guard, but I'm saying it's possible that you could put him at the two, and you could orchestrate the offense through him, or you could have another point guard and orchestrate the offense through both of them. But at the same time, with Curry, you got a player that can set up plays for himself and for other teammates, as we saw in that Warriors dynasty with and without KD. And on top of that, you're getting somebody, even though like his defense is the lack thereof, he still can hold his own. And for a couple of, I think for 2 years, he averaged the most steals per game. I think it was 1 year it was like 3, and the other year was like 2 something. But so he can steal the ball. He somehow finds a way to get some steals. And one thing that people don't give him a lot of credit for is, for a point guard, he's actually a pretty good rebounder. I've seen him box out Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard he's one of the best rebounders in the game right now, and he was boxing him out and getting a board over him when he was on, I believe, Houston. So that just shows a lot of heart, and I want that in my centerpiece for an NBA team. So I gotta go with Curry, hands down.
Okay. I see T gave me a look when you said with and without Kevin Durant. Before we go on, I'm gonna just interject right there. When T gave me that look, I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan. For everybody that knows, he is the GOAT in my eyes. One of the GOATs in my eyes. Okay, Lee. I don't know why he scratching his neck. Maybe he's saying choking, but okay, he put it down. So that's good. So before you said that, Kevin Durant, if he never would have joined the Warriors dynasty would have been over. They lost to the Cavs, and that's the only reason why it made it validated. And every time I said, as a Kevin Durant fan, I said if Kevin Durant goes to the Warriors, the only way he can validate his play is by being the best player on the court at all times. And he was the best player on the court for 2 years in a row. Then he got hurt his third year. So that validates Kevin Durant. Everybody that want to call him a snake or anything like that, you can't really call Kevin Durant a snake, because he validated his play by being the best player on the court every time he stepped on the court over Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. So, T, what are your thoughts on who would you start your franchise with? Giannis, Steph Curry, or James Harden?
So first, I like to say Steph Curry is a top 3 point guard all time. I feel that he revolutionized the game. He can shoot, score from all 3 levels. He's the player that you have to guard from from 40 feet out. He creates for his teammates. He's the only player out of these 3 that's a proven winner. I think he's a 3-time NBA champ. Two-time NBA champ. Multiple time.
3 times. I thought you were talking about MVP.
MVP.
3-time NBA champ. He wins. He creates for his teammates. And I feel like he made Draymond Green to Draymond Green even being considered a Hall of Famer,
Triple C.
I feel like Steph Curry should be on the ballot, like with an asterisk under his name, because without Steph Curry, he made those players. Like he made Klay Thompson who he is. He made Klay Thompson who he is because Steph Curry demands 2 players to guard him at all times, and I feel like it's the same with being. It goes along with the same being a number 1 receiver and your number 2 is doing well. I feel that you demand more attention so you can create for others, and it makes it easier for them to score.
So you're going with Steph, right?
Steph Curry easily.
Smart man.
Lee, what's your thoughts on this?
Listen, this is the thing. Steph Curry, you're right. He revolutionized the game. He's the way that the league is running in anyway. He's the perfect build because the problem is durability. You can't say every night that or every year that Curry's going to play. We've seen it throughout his entire career that he may not stay healthy throughout every season, and potentially could be hurt in an instant. He's very, quick to get injured. So he just unfortunately just constantly gets injured. So for me, I feel like I'm gonna go with a guy who gives you 40, 50 a night. Has the most points per game. Per season. Out of the top point guard. Also James Harden. I think it's somebody who's still in this league. You can give him the ball. You can get a clutch bucket. You can get buckets at any point in time. You can go off for 50. And is in the same kind of way we're going in terms of point guards anyway, where you need to be able to shoot the ball at a high clip, and be able to be an effective scorer against anybody. And James Harden is that.
James Harden. So you're saying that if you had to start a team right now, a franchise team, you'll put the ball in James Harden's hands over Steph Curry
because of durability.
So you'll put the ball in James Harden's hand over Steph Curry because of durability. But we're just like this starting playoffs. No playoffs factor. This starting franchise. You're going to start with James Harden to start the team over Steph Curry. I believe Steph Curry was a momentum changer in the way as Steph Curry. He changed the way he changes the momentum of the game with his shots and how he can deflate our defense so fast by pulling up for 3 so quick. He can just change the face of the game so fast and so quick. James Harden, I believe, is a step back king. He's a scorer. He can give you 40 a night, or 50 a night. But that 50 a night or 40 a night might come with a loss.
40 shots.
Or on 40 shots also. So it might be an asterisk next to that because he doesn't have he doesn't have that it factor to will his team to a win. But if you look at Giannis, this is the third person we say who is. So it was Steph Curry, James Harden, and Giannis. This was the third person we say. Giannis, I feel like he is a great centerpiece on any team. He may not be able to shoot, but which he is working on. But if I had to start a franchise right now, and the way the league is going and is evolving, he can play. He can defend 1 through 5. He can play 1 through 5. He can push the ball. He can rebound and he can score. You say Steph Curry can get you 40, James Harden can get you 40 a night, Giannis can get you 40 a night on only 24 shots. If he work on his free throws, he's dunking on everybody. You might play him back on the 3-point line, but he's evolving as a player. He's hungry. If you look at him from 3 years ago, how skinny and frail he was, to now, he's now the monster of the league. If you look at the Greek Freak. So I feel like Giannis will be the perfect candidate to start a new team with, a new franchise with, because you want to build around a centerpiece like that. If you get Giannis 2 shooters, and we're talking about who's going to build a better franchise. If we get Giannis 2 shooters, that means say Giannis had Steph Curry. I mean Klay Thompson, right? Steph, not Steph Curry. We're gonna say Giannis had Klay Thompson. He running pick and roll with any big man in the league. That's either Giannis gonna dunk or kick it out to Klay. You know, Steph Curry, he run around 18 screens a game, and he gonna get tired. And also, we gotta look at Steph Curry with his durability, like you said, Lee, with his ankle things. When Mark Jackson was the coach, and every time they touched him, he got his ankles broke. You know what I'm saying? So we also can put Steph Curry on the island because we know he can't play defense. Giannis can play defense. James Harden can't play defense for nothing. I'm about to say it to you. James Harden don't play no defense in the NBA, okay? He doesn't play no defense.
I feel like if you score 40, 50 a damn night, you shouldn't have to play. You should play 0 defense. If you can get it done on one end, I feel like on the other end you shouldn't be held as accountable. That's why you have players like Klay Thompson. You have players like Iguodala, Draymond Green. You pay those guys to play defense because Trae Young can't play defense. He's one of the best point guards in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, I got a question for you, T. Since you brought up that, since you brought up that, I got a question for you. Who do you think is the best player of all time?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. How many defensive teams did Kobe Bryant make?
12.
How many did Michael Jordan make?
I believe less than that.
Okay, how many did Steph Curry make?
None.
How many did James Harden make?
None.
So if you say that these are the top, these are greats that we consider goats in our league, that they're not making. LeBron even made defensive team.
How many did Durant make?
Durant made about 3.
3?
Yeah.
First team.
I don't know about first team.
Respect.
I think first team was his last year. Not last year, but the year before. He made first team in Golden State. But Durant just started playing defense, and we know that. But he made a couple third team defensive teams. So if we say we're gonna start a franchise with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, James Harden, or Giannis, I believe Giannis is the perfect fit to start a franchise with. If you put shooters around him and get a nice center, this is a championship caliber team every year. No matter what you say.
So let me ask you this.
The Warriors right now, Steph Curry right now, with the same team and the same roster they got, what is the Warriors doing?
Playoffs.
No way. Without Klay Thompson's bench, right? But is the Steph Curry
team?
I'm saying the roster they have right now, and Steph Curry's bench, right? And Klay Thompson's bench, and Steph Curry's playing, and Draymond's playing, and the pieces they have around right now, what are they doing?
Playoffs.
What seed?
Eighth,
yeah, definitely.
Giannis playing on that team, and the people he had. You want to say Steph Curry made Klay Thompson? You don't think Giannis made Chris Middleton?
No, he did. I admit that. But at the same time,
That wasn't
here's the
hard.
thing. Here's the thing, though. If you with Steph Curry can play in any type of offense. You can't play no zone against him. You barely can play man against him. There's no defense that will be able to stop him unless he only stops himself. The game, like for example, I'll go back to the year where they first year they won the championship against Dellavedova, and I'm not Dellavedova. I guess I'm tripping. Against the Cavs, and Dellavedova was guarding him. Dellavedova had cramps, and he got him to shoot so many shots and miss so many shots. But at the same time, the next game, what did Curry do? Heat it up. He was heating it up. So with Curry, you can't. There's really no defense to stop Curry. Curry stops himself. He stops himself from missing it, and from missing shots. And even if he does miss it, it's still a good shot. Now with Giannis, you can play zone against him. You can run zone against him. You can force him to shoot the three. Even though he is becoming a better 3-point shooter, at the same time, he still is not deadlier he's not deadly from the three as obviously a Steph Curry or obviously a James Harden. But why I'm taking Curry instead of James Harden is that, like T said, he's a proven winner. He's a winner. He can get it done in any situation. And yes, his durability is questionable, but at the same time,
More than questionable.
it is more than questionable. But at the same time, when he comes back, he's here.
If he
back.
comes back.
No, when he comes back. Because the year where he was out the playoff, the year when he didn't come back to until the Western Conference semifinals, I believe, or Western Conference finals, when they had Kevin Durant. I think his first game he dropped 40.
My point is this, and my thing is, you're talking about taking Steph Curry. We understand the talent, no question about the talent. But the durability is true and it's there, and he's fragile. So my point is, you may go ahead and build your team with him, but you may not know when he won't play. Because if he does play, he may get injured. His ankles was the problem. He might have arguably had the most ankle injuries out of any NBA player in the history of the NBA. I mean, if you look at his story, he had probably the most injuries. So my thing is, you're going to start a player who you know possibly could get injured for the entire season, or may have, unfortunately, a plethora of seasons of injuries. So I just feel like your build a team. I mean, the person you're building a team with, you may not even see play most of the season.
But at the same time, just to combat you on that, Yes, like I said, yes, his durability is questioned, but at the same time, with Harden ISO, that he does play every year, but at the same time, basketball, you're not gonna win with an ISO. You're not going. That's not that type of basketball is not gonna win. It's proven they're not gonna win. Name me.
He would have won if Chris Paul would have stayed healthy. I think they would have beat the Warriors that year. I do. I believe they would have
possibly, but at the same
saying, like he hasn't had a number two, a true number two, next to him. Tell me your second best player. Tell me a really good second best player that played throughout the entire season.
He had a playoff. I think 1 year he had, not 1 year, he had. Matter of fact, hold up. Eric Gordon was getting buckets for him.
He did not say Eric Gordon.
Yes, I did. I did say Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon was getting buckets for him. Wasn't he a runner? Wasn't he almost voted like not almost, but was he in the top 6 men of the year 1 year? So he was
6 man.
But that's
talking about a number two. Clay is a true number two.
All right, Clay, yeah, but
he doesn't have a number two.
But here's what I'm saying though, bro. How am I going? First off, James Harden does the same thing that Chris Paul does. The only thing he does is score better. They both, well, not ISO, but they hold the ball so long. You're not gonna win no championship ISOing, bro.
They were the best team in the NBA that year.
Were they?
Yeah, they had the top record.
So did they win though?
Chris Paul got injured. But he got injured. What do you want him to do?
Steph Curry got injured. KD got the job done. So what was the excuse for James Harden?
They were versing Golden State. That's the difference,
bro. James Harden. In that game where they shot 20. They shot. It was, I think, was it game 6 or game 7? Game 6. They shot 27 threes and missed all 27. Now I will say it was leading with 17 points, and on top of that, I will say some of the shots that they did take should have been called. They should have been called fouls, especially the shot where I think Harden was at the top of the key and Draymond Green came up and literally didn't give him no space, and basically that's a foul, but. I digress. They didn't call it, so it wasn't no foul. But at the same time, you shoot 27 threes, you're up 17 points. You should literally put the dagger. The dagger should be there.
Who's your general? Is your general playing? Was he playing?
James Harden, yes he was.
CP3? He wasn't playing.
It wasn't his team though. It's James Harden's team.
James Harden is the general of the. He's the point guard. He was the point guard. James Harden.
No, he wasn't. James Harden was the point guard.
No, he wasn't.
He averaged more assists than him, and they ran the plays through James Harden.
No, CP3 was the general. He was the point guard for the team. James Harden switched over to. I'm proud of you. James Harden switched over to shooting guard. That's how they played. They played with him playing as shooting guard. They just let Chris Paul do all the shooting because James Harden grabbed so much attention. I mean, he's going to have assists because he's getting attention. But my thing is that. When you don't have your number two and you're going against a team like Golden State, yeah, you're not going to win that matchup. Even if you're up 17. You know what they're capable of in the third. I mean, the third quarter is just a mirror. Golden State is probably the best team I've ever seen in the third quarter. Hands down. Mm-hmm. They be down 20, up 30 in the third quarter. So my thing is that when you talk about a number two, a true number two, James Harden has not had one healthy throughout the entire season.
That's all good points. That is all good points. We're gonna wrap up here today. Just give us your thoughts and comments in our comment section on our YouTube. Just tell us what you think about who would you start a franchise with. Would you start it with Giannis, Steph Curry, or James Harden? Who would you actually, if you were a GM today, who would you start your franchise with, and why would you start your franchise with this person? So just give us your thoughts on this, and hope to see you guys soon. Make sure you subscribe and like, and on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and like and comment anytime you want. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
I'm free if they crucify me. That's just what it's gonna be. Black Moses. Black Moses. Black Moses. Yes. Black Moses.
Slaves on the north side of Philly where they say they mamas and go spend that money.